Hey, if you guys are looking for potential short-term trade entries, something I want everybody to watch. So there's a relatively constant trendline resistance across the board. So here we actually have trendline resistance creating a horizontal formation that gives us an ascending triangle on Bitcoin. One of the reasons I'm pretty bullish on Bitcoin for a short-term trade here. But if you look at the altcoins, a lot of the alts are sharing the same thing. We got this same trendline resistance. Once we come up and break this trendline resistance, we'll get above it, come back down to retest it, and then bounce up big. That should be what happens on the next breakout. But you're going to notice a lot. Look at this, UMA2, very similar, right? If you look here, come down here, same trend line resistance. Doge, I haven't even looked at this yet. Similar, same trend line resistance coming down right here. Look. Same thing. Hot, right? HOT. That one, not as much. No, that one doesn't really have that same trend line. It's a little different. But you get the point. You know, I can pull up pretty much any of these assets for the most part. Trendline resistance, and there's the same trendline resistance across the board. Got it right here on TRX, Tron, virtually identical. So you're going to see the entire market break out simultaneously. I'm not saying it's imminent. Right now, Bitcoin looks like it's holding, and there's a really good chance that Bitcoin will hold here and bounce up, and then the alts can follow it. The alts probably, for the most part, have to come down lower. Most of them don't look like they have enough support. A lot of them have just broken their main supports. But you'll notice we have an almost identical formation on like 80% of the alts on my watch list. Same with VET. You know, everything I'm pulling up is showing us the same exact trendline resistance. So across the board, what you're going to want to look for is when eventually these trendline resistances break. We get above them, we come back down to test it for support, and then we bounce off of it. Usually you don't break through and break right out. Most of the time you get up through that resistance, come back down, test that resistance, and then break out, and that's going to end up forming one of these guys where you're going to pop through, come back down to test the resistance, which becomes a support, then you break out. So watch that trend line on a lot of these assets, and you're going to see them all moving in unison. Once Bitcoin has enough stability to make that push up, you're going to see all of these altcoins at the same time are going to start turning green together. They're all going to break that trend line resistance, retest it, and then break out into that next impulse wave.